There are always so many things happening in Northwest Arkansas. Today we're focusing on 4 crazy things happening only in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And one of them actually includes a huge number from the University of Arkansas. So let's talk about that. Hey everybody, if you don't know who I am, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. If you weren't aware, I actually was a real estate broker located in the dumpster fire, the horrible, the no good state of Illinois, the worst. Anyways, I could have moved anywhere I wanted to in America. I could have moved to Huntsville, I could have moved to Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida, Colorado, Arizona, anywhere I wanted to in America, but I chose Northwest Arkansas. And it is by far the best place to live in America, by far. If you ever want to talk about why I chose Northwest Arkansas versus anywhere else in America, call me, text me, let's meet up for coffee and talk about, again, why Northwest Arkansas is, again, the best place to live in America, by far. So without further ado, let's jump right into the content. All right, and the first thing we need to cover when it comes to crazy things happening in Fayetteville, Arkansas is the Mount Comfort Square, the micro square, is actually starting to be worked on now, and it is moving fast and far ahead. Fayetteville is actually building a micro square in the west side of Fayetteville, multi-acres, commercial spaces, I think 21,000 feet of retail space, so a lot of stores, 9,000 square feet of executive office space, condos and townhouses. It's gonna be a wild trip over there. But a lot of these things are becoming more common in Northwest Arkansas. I call them micro squares. Now, this isn't necessarily like a project done by Fayetteville, like they've adapted on the head and say, we're gonna build a square. It's actually, developer led, but it's obviously Fayetteville's highly involved. But part of this is on the west side of Fayetteville is that they have to go obviously from west side to the center of Fayetteville if they want that square experience. But having micro squares along the way is a great place just honestly for people to get retail, to go to a small Walmart if they need to go to a coffee shops, to go to even live there potentially. And so having these kind of micro squares along the way really takes a lot of pressure off the main square for a lot of that retail experience. Now, I'm not going to necessarily say they're going to have like a Christmas, parade there per se, or even really a lot of like big events, but they will have events, they will have live music, they will have these things going on, but it's not going to be to the level of a downtown square, but it is, again, that micro square feel. And this is becoming more common here in Northwest Arkansas. Fayetteville has been doing this twice now. They have the South Yard Square, essentially, and they have this west over here. Now, imagine that parts of like Lowell and Springdale might have this eventually, but for the most part, Fayetteville's leading the charge. I could certainly see Rogers having this. That is going to be happening. They really do have 2 squares at the moment. They have the downtown square, the Bricks, as it's called, over by Lake Atalanta, and then they have the Pinnacle side of stuff, which is not really square, but it's like a high travel business area, and it's a lot of retail over there. So you have 2 right there, but Bentonville could certainly use one. They might even be doing this with the 8th Street Gateway. Bella Vista just needs a downtown section. So this could be a common trend here in Northwest Arkansas. And the second crazy thing happening in Northwest Arkansas is a brand new upscale seafood restaurant is opening up on Dixon Street in Fayetteville. First off, the reason I'm bringing this up is because not many restaurants come and go on Dixon Street for obvious its popularity. It's probably the busiest, most popular, most well-known street in Fayetteville, and probably honestly of Arkansas, or if not greater, just due to the college and the Razorbacks and the sports and everything else. So just to clarify, very popular street. So when restaurants come and go, which is rare, it's kind of big news. So the Collective opening up a upscale seafood restaurant. Now, the reason that this happens is that with Dixon Street is because it's not necessarily always geared towards college people. There are bars, there's certain things like that, of course, but there is the Walton Arts Center, which brings a more higher class, higher cut of people. There's Theater Squared. There's a bunch of things up and down Dixon Street. So it's kind of, Dixon Street's a weird area in a good way because it's kind of like a mixture of like college students and people in their 40s doing the kind of different things. And so that's why the Collective is opening up, because they're like, hey, there's a lot of people that are underserved on Dixon Street. We should open up a upscale seafood restaurant. So great for them. The thing that I'm going to be checking for, honestly, is the quality of the actual snow crab. And probably it's unfair because maybe they're not the best at snow crab, but regardless, I love snow crab. I'm gonna go there and check. I'm gonna let you guys know. We're gonna see. How good is the snow crab? Are the clusters big? Are they pulling out bad clusters? How do they actually season them? Do they season them? Do they just do salt water? Do they do some butter in there? How do they bring to the table? Are they super hot? Are they super cold? Do they have a lot of questions. A lot of questions about snow crab in the snow crab world. And by far, I am the expert. I am the full knowledge bearer of snow crab. But regardless of all that, I will certainly let you know how the Collective goes. But I am excited to see a upscale seafood restaurant on the downtown section of Fayetteville. Whoa, 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 whoa. I made something for you. I made something called 3-day itineraries. So maybe you're looking to check this place out. Maybe you're looking to see if it is the best place to live in America. Secret, it is. I made 3-day itineraries. So maybe you're an adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you have kids, whatever it is. I have 3-day itineraries linked below. So definitely download them and use them when you get down here. Also, you might be using things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin. Way too slow. Notifications, way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. It sounds exactly what it is, literally. So enter your information below, names, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. Where do you want to move to in Northwest Arkansas? Enter all the information below and make sure you don't miss a single notification when it comes for home for sale or for rent, all in Northwest Arkansas. Also, every single Friday, I send an email just talking about all the cool things happening in Northwest Arkansas. What's going on in downtown Bentonville? What's going on in Fayetteville? What's going on First Thursdays? When's First Fridays? What's going on in downtown Rogers? What's going on in Pinnacle? There are so many things all the time happening in Northwest Arkansas. Enter your name and email below and make sure you get that email every single Friday. But I need you to be aware, you will get a little fear of missing out, a little FOMO, so to speak, but I promise you will be the most informed person eventually when you make your way down to Northwest Arkansas. And the third crazy thing happening in Northwest Arkansas is a brand new restaurant opening up in the Fayetteville Library. Like now, it's actually been open up for like a month or so. So the Handshake opened up in the Fayetteville Library. Prior to that, it was actually kind of a, we'll say, library ran restaurant, but I did love it because, man, their food was so cheap and so good. It's actually attached to a teaching kitchen in the Fayetteville Library, so they had plenty of things to work with. But man, their soups were great, their sandwiches were great, and they were like really, really cheap. I'm saying like they didn't make any money. I guarantee that. Guarantee that. But regardless of all that, the Handshake is opened up. The nice thing with the Handshake is that it's actually managed and owned and ran by the previous manager of Conifer. And anytime Conifer gets in the mix of things, which is a restaurant in Bentonville, good things happen along the way. So good to see that happen. I'm excited to see the Handshake be there. I've yet to go there for food, but I will certainly keep you in the loop. But regardless of all that, new restaurant opened up in the Fayetteville Library. And a little side note, if you have not been to the Fayetteville Library, what are you doing? It is a massive, massive, probably I think the greatest library in the world, if I'm being honest. Obviously between the books and the plays and the technology and the actual 3D printing thing and the green screen rooms and the actual recording studios, Mac lab, printing lab, photo lab, podcast recording lab, video editing lab, laser engraving lab. We have TV studio green screen lab. They have things called books, if you want to wear that, books, kind of a thing now. Teaching kitchens. They have plenty of other things going on that I can go on and on about around the actual Fayetteville Library. So definitely check it out when you're in the area. You'll like it. And the fourth and final crazy thing happening in Northwest Arkansas is that the actual University of Arkansas finally hit 34,000 students in the area. So that's crazy. I think when I moved here, I think it was like 26 or 28,000. Still great numbers, but they finally hit 34,000 students this year. Part of the reason for this is because that they do have a really interesting marketing ploy thing that they do where if a student in Texas does not want to go to a Texas school, they are more than able to actually go to an Arkansas school, for specifically University of Arkansas in Fayetteville, for the same cost that would be in-state tuition in Arkansas. So fascinating different marketing thing. And so part of the reason that they do that is that they know that the moment that students come here, that the university knows that there's a long line of business opportunities and job opportunities and career paths here in Northwest Arkansas. So the goal is just to get them here and they will certainly stay here. They'll do 4 years here. They can do a great law degree, a great architecture degree, a great art degree, a great whatever degree, and or technology degree, if I'm being honest. But really at the end of the day, business degrees are a big deal here because there's a direct line from business school, Sam Walton Business School, right into JB Hunt Tyson, right into Walmart, right into whatever you want to, right into some of the other actual like smaller companies next door to Walmart, obviously like the actual retailers. So there's a lot of opportunities that happen at the university, and having this marketing thing really bolsters the numbers because they're like, hey, we can go from 26,000 to 34,000 in about 5 years. That's crazy. So big win for the university to have a huge monument or huge milestone met that they're looking to do. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you have not been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack. Sounds exactly what it is. Literally a package full of all the cool things in Northwest Arkansas. It comes with a 120-page guide, literally a guide of all the things you want to know about Northwest Arkansas. Education, systems, anything, all the cool things to do here. Comes with that guide. Plus, it comes with the 3-day itineraries, which I mentioned before, and it comes with postcards, everything you want to know about Northwest Arkansas, and it comes with a handy-dandy Northwest Arkansas coloring book. Do it for the coloring book. I mean, come on now. Anyways, it's a little package literally shipped right to your home, right to your home. Enter your name and address below. I'll make sure to get that package shipped to you right away. Also, side note, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool. And I know what you're thinking. It is my favorite filler F word. Free! So enter your information below and make sure to get that package shipped to you right away. All right, guys, I'll see you next one.